Welcome back to reality, folks. While the media plays reruns of nonsense, the real story is shaping up overseas, and it looks a whole lot like the prelude to World War III. Three dictators walk into a meeting. No, that's not the start of a bad joke. That's just modern geopolitics. So buckle up, because the history lesson you never asked for explains why the mess we are currently in today was basically made in America. The United States is heading towards war. Not maybe someday, but in the near future. And when Putin, Xi, and Kim Jong-un gather in China like it's the villains panel at Comic-Con, you can bet it's not just for small talk. To see how we got here, we need to rewind back to 1945. America had just defeated tyranny, strutted onto the world stage, and decided that we would, play global babysitter forever. We rebuilt Europe with the Marshall Plan, made the dollar the world's reserve currency, and handed out free trade like it was candy. Corporations cashed in, politicians grabbed about GDP growth, and the American middle class, well, they were kind of hollowed out. We outsourced our backbone to China. Washington's logic was, if we shower communists with capitalism, they'll turn into model citizens. Instead, they just robbed us blind, stole our tech, and now we have to depend on them for everything, from medicine to microchips. Brilliant plan, you guys. We basically bought the rope that they are planning to hang us with. Meanwhile, Russia wants Ukraine, China wants Taiwan, North Korea wants the South. They don't care about sanctions, lectures, or hashtags. They care about pride and revenge. And there's the kicker. America is fractured right down the middle. Half the country would rather see the place burn than admit Trump was right about anything. The nation divided against itself doesn't stand at all. It collapses, and our enemies are licking their chops, waiting for it.
We're watching live pictures tonight, right now, a massive parade underway in Beijing as the Chinese President Xi Jinping is showing off his country's arsenal and military might to the world and to the more than 24 foreign leaders who are there in person attending this military parade that includes those from Russia, North Korea, and Iran. In a speech just a few moments ago, President Xi warned that the world needs to choose, as he put it, quote, between peace and war.
Under Joe Biden, tens of thousands of Chinese nationals have been sneaking across the southern border every year. And here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud. They don't need to sneak in. They could fly in like tourists. If they're crawling through barbed wire and cactus instead, it's not for the Instagram selfies. Think sabotage, power grids, water systems, telecom. Sleeper cells sprinkled across the country like confetti at a parade nobody asked for. Now toss Rocket Man into the mix. Kim Jong-un has already shipped troops to Russia to help keep Ukraine bogged down in Putin's meat grinder. This isn't just a regional spat anymore. It's a global conflict being beta tested. They're watching how far NATO can be pushed, how long Europe can hold out, and whether America has the willpower left to do anything besides argue on Twitter. This is exactly why Trump slapped tariffs and tried to drag factories back to American soil. Because if this forever peace fantasy collapses, and let's be real, it's already collapsed. The country that doesn't make its own essentials loses first. Meanwhile, our enemies are literally on stage talking about organ transplants and immortality while they scheme up the next world war. You couldn't write a darker comedy if you tried. But here we are, living it.
In the past, people rarely lived longer than 70 years. But today, they say that at 70, you are still a child.
Human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and can even achieve immortality.
Here's the ugly truth. These regimes don't care about human rights. That's why their science moves so fast. No rules, no limits. After World War II, even America scooped up Nazi scientists because their gruesome research put them decades ahead of us. Evil does not play by the rules. While they were catching up, America was trying to figure out which bathroom to piss in. Now it all comes down to Taiwan. Taking Taiwan is the ultimate gamble, the test of whether America will fight or fold. If we fight, it's war. If we don't, it's still war, just slower. Because Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines, they will all cut deals with China the second they realize that we are bluffing. Nobody bets on Team America if we won't even defend our closest allies. And if China wins, they control Asia, the South China Sea, and the most valuable trade route on the planet. That would crush the dollar, trigger hyperinflation, and collapse our debt-driven economy. We're talking mass unemployment, breadlines, and chaos here at home while China cements itself as the new superpower. And, unlike America, they won't lift all boats. They'll sink every competitor permanently. So here we are, one divided America, one emboldened China, one unhinged rocket man, and one Russia looking for revenge. The so-called experts keep promising diplomacy, but the reality is the world is a powder keg, and our leaders are walking around with matches. Whether it's months or years, the storm is coming. The only question left is whether America wakes up in time or snoozes its way into the history books. That's all I got for you guys today. If you like this, please like, subscribe, give me a follow, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later.